Hello, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a blooming gel nail tutorial. I'm going to be showing you the easiest way of using your blooming gel and achieving amazing blooming gel nail designs. I'm starting off by cleaning up my natural nails with a length-free wipe. I'm then going to push back my cuticle using my metal cuticle pusher. I'm not going to show every nail prep step on this video, but if you want an in-depth tutorial on nail prep, check out my last video. It's been a long time I got my nails done, so I'm going to go really in-depth with my cuticle prep. So this step is optional depending on the state of your cuticle at the moment. Mine is very dry and needs trimming, so I'm going to pay a lot of attention to my cuticle. Even if I'm working on a client and their cuticle area seems fairly fine, I still like to do a little bit of cuticle work because it's very important for nail retention and longevity. I nipped my cuticle off camera. I like being very careful when cutting my cuticle, so that's the reason why I did it off camera. I'm going to go around my cuticle area using my 100/180 hand file to remove any dead skin that is around the cuticle area. Even if you're not comfortable with pushing back your cuticle with a cuticle pusher or an e-file, I would highly recommend to go around your cuticle area with an e-file to remove any dead skin that is stuck to your nail. Because lack of proper cuticle prep is one of the main reasons your nails don't last up to 3 to 4 weeks. I'm also going to be filing the sides of my nail and the edges as well so that I can keep them in a decent shape before applying my nail tips. I'm then going to clean the surface with a lint-free wipe and some alcohol because I want to look at the cuticle area and find out if there's any spots missing that I need to take care of. Now we're going to get into sizing my nail tips. But before I apply my nail tips onto my nail, I first etch the surface of my nail thoroughly with my hand file. And I'm also going to do the same thing to my nail tips. I'm going to file down the free edge of my nail tip a little bit with my hand file because my thumb is more on the flat side. I want this nail set to last for a while, so I'm going to make sure my nail tips fits onto my natural nails sidewall to sidewall. When doing this, even if you don't find a particular nail tip that fits your natural nails perfectly, you can always choose a bigger size and file it down to the perfect size of your natural nail. Adding texture to the surface of my nails and my nail tips is going to help with adhesion. Try to be very careful when etching the surface of your nail, even with a hand file. The intention is just to rough the surface of your nail up a little bit because even with a hand file, you could still damage the surface of your nail. Because I want this nail set to last a while, I'm not doing the pop-off method, so I glued my nail tips onto my nail using the nail scope glue. I applied my nail tips off camera, but basically what I do is I keep a little gap between the cuticle when applying my nail tips because I'll then go in with my hand file and flush the nail tip thoroughly onto my natural nail. From my own personal experience, I noticed that giving a little gap when applying the nail tip onto the natural nail helps with nail retention as opposed to applying the full cover nail tips directly onto the cuticle area. It also allows me to flush the nail tip onto the natural nails and give it a more seamless finish, and then make the nail tip look like it's growing out from the natural nails. I'm just using my 100 over 180 grade file to file the nail tips down to my natural nails. I don't really know which length and shape to go for. I'm still exploring which nail shape truly suits me, so I've decided to give the square shape one final intentional try. Although it hasn't always been my personal favorite, I want to try it again with an open mind and make a final decision. I'm just filing the sides of my nail tips. I prefer my square sets to not flare at the tip, but at the same time, I'm going to be careful not to change it into a coffin shape. I really like a balanced square that remains straight and perfectly aligned along the side walls. As a beginner, it's normal to not always get a perfect square set, but practice is one of the things that helped me learn how to achieve a square set that fits seamlessly from the sides of the nail down to the sides of the free edge. I decided to go shorter with the length. In my quest for perfection, I think I overfiled my middle finger to a coffin almost. Before applying any form of gel polish onto my nail tips, I like buffing the surface of my nail tips thoroughly. This helps the gel polish to stick and grabs onto the nail better after curing. If you notice that your gel polish peels after a few days, try to incorporate buffing the surface of your nail tip before applying any gel polish. I then clean the surface of my nail with a lint-free wipe. I'm going to start off by applying a thin layer of base coat before any gel polish. I like to do this first because base coat helps gel polish to adhere better onto the nail. And if you notice that your gel polish chips after a few days, you might consider adding a base coat into your routine. Then I'm going to cure that in the lamp for a full 60 seconds. I'm then going to apply a thin layer of this OPI nude base polish. I ended up going in with 3 coats and I cured each one in between for 60 seconds. I like to apply a thin layer of matte top coats before any nail design, just in case I have the need to clean a particular nail design because I don't like while changing a nail design to affect my nude gel polish. Starting off with the Pinkie, I apply a very thin layer of blooming gel. Applying a very thick amount of blooming gel is the main reason your gel polish spreads too fast. So if you want to achieve a controlled spreading of your gel polish when doing a blooming gel nail design, it's important to apply a very thin layer of blooming gel. Very little amount goes a long way. Going in with my dotting tool, I'm just doing a simple blooming gel French tip nail design. The ring finger is going to be chrome isolation. To isolate chrome, I first start off by applying a thin layer of top coat, and after curing it for a full 60 seconds, I thoroughly buff the surface. I know a lot of people use a matte top coat, but this is basically what works for me. I'm going to be using a black gel polish for my chrome application. I like to add a little bit of top coat onto my black gel polish. This really helps the chrome to adhere better onto the gel polish and leave a beautiful mirror effect. I don't know what this design is called, but I'm basically going to outline the sides of my nail and the cuticle area with black gel polish. I'm then going to draw a horizontal line starting from the bottom to join the two outlines together, and then another one on top. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's basically what you see me do in this video. I switched to my shortest liner brush to make the sides more rounded. Then I cured it in the lamp for 60 seconds twice. The black gel polish I'm using is very pigmented and it ends up wrinkling if I cure for only 60 seconds. Now, depending on the brand you're using, a lot of nail techs suggest to cure for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or even less. I suggest you follow the instructions of the brand of gel polish you have, because formulas are different and curing for 60 seconds at least is what gives me a clean mirror effect during my chrome application. If you notice a glitter effect every time after a chrome application, consider different time modes to find out which mode gives you a mirror effect. And you could also consider trying out other brands of black gel polish and find out which one works best for you. During my chrome application, I like being very generous with my chrome, and after that, I dust off the excess. For my ring finger, we're starting off with a French nail design. In my last video, I showed how to draw a perfect double French nail design, so you can check that out if you want. Another reason I like applying a matte top coat before any nail design is it helps the gel polish stay in place when drawing any design of your choice. I must also add, if you get any gel polish onto your skin, it's very important to clean it immediately with acetone. And if you're doing this on yourself at home, repeated exposure can lead to an allergic reaction. So it's very important to avoid getting gel polish onto your skin to prevent contact dermatitis. I then applied a very thin layer of blooming gel. For the blooming gel nail design, I'm just going to make flowers at the tip of my nail and at the top end of my middle finger. Then I'm going to cure that in the lamp for a full 60 seconds. I also cured the French nail design before going in with my blooming gel. I like to go back and forth with my dotting tool whenever I'm doing a blooming gel flower design. I didn't know the blooming gel nail design to do for the index finger, so I ended up with this. For the thumb, we're going to be doing a blooming gel flower nail design. Now, when creating this particular nail design, it's important to go back and forth with your dotting tool and pick up a consistent amount of gel polish. Just don't reuse the polish already on your dotting tool for another petal, because this will cause uneven spreading and patchy petals. Make sure your dots end touching, give them space so that the flower spreads evenly and maintains a beautiful shape. Once you're satisfied with the blooming effect, cure for a full 60 seconds. I added a small amount of rhinestone glue to the center of the flowers. I then placed 3 caviar beads on the center of each flower and cured for 60 seconds. To make your caviar beads last longer, seal with a top coat. I then sealed everything up with a glossy top coat. And this is the final look. What do you guys think? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.